Hey, PK. Hey, Rara. Hello, PK. Hey, Venom. Hey, Trailer. Now the people are coming in. Fancy meeting me here? Yep, indeed. Hey, Produce. Yep, I still exist. And hi, Laura. Hi, Gigi. And yeah, fancy meeting me here. It's because I showered today. So, hey, Michaela. The day of the shower and the day after I shower, I'm fine going live. It's like that third day if I haven't showered. Because sometimes it'll be like, sometimes it'll go a little bit longer. Late for me. I mean, not really. It's 2:30 in the morning. That's when I Dr. Squatch soap. No. Tactile soap. No. Did you hear got fired for reading a book about gender identity? Yeah. Not surprised at all, Vanna. Not surprised in the slightest. Can't smell it. Well, no, but it's like I look gross. Like my hair gets super greasy. I mean, but like, hey, fiend. Like the day after I shower, my hair is already starting to get greasy. Like, I showered like 9 hours ago. My hair looks fine right now. So yeah, my hair looks fine at the moment. By tomorrow, it's already going to be starting to look a little bit greasy. The day after that, yeah, it'll be bad. Shave my head? Yeah. Anywho's. Dry shampoo. So, I'm currently downloading Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. Decided to buy Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14 on Steam. Yeah, 14. They're up to 14 now. I do like those games. I wash my hair once a week, and it doesn't really even get greasy. I'm lucky that way. Lucky you, Laura. Mine gets very greasy. Gets gross. Yeah, I do like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. So decided to buy the most recent one, which was 14. So leave my hair up for 2 days for it to curl and dry. My hair dries really fast. Like after I shower, my hair does dry very fast. Hey, Lady Sunflower. Don't know how to do curlers. Like my hair will be basically dry within 30 minutes after I get out of the shower. Yeah, actually, I downloaded a torrent of the game last night just to give it a try, just to see, will I actually enjoy playing this? Played for a couple hours and was like, yeah, what can I do? I do enjoy it. So I bought it, got it downloading right now. It's third of the way through, but so far, third of the way through already. How am I feeling tonight? Same as usual. Thoughts on reptile pets? Not a fan of reptiles myself. Just not something that I like. I'm not comfortable with the reptiles. How fast my download speed? I don't know. Doesn't really say the speed, but it's pretty quick. It's a pretty quick download. Pet rock? Nah. Boring. Birdies? Nah, I'm not comfortable with birds. Wouldn't own a giant monitor lizard? I would not. I don't want a lizard on my monitor. I need to be able to see my monitor. Sea monkeys? Boring. My son and his girlfriend have geckos and a chameleon. I quite enjoy them. Cool, cool. Sea monkeys are boring. Capybara? Maybe. Hi, Jamie. Capybara? Maybe. Those are adorable. Like, for sea monkeys, like, probably the thing sea monkeys are most famous for is being really fucking boring and disappointing. Like back in the day, there were all those ads for, get sea monkeys, and like the ads show like fucking weird ass little mer people trying to be like, oh, they're they're like people and shit like that, try to make them seem more interesting. And then fucking kids would send away for them and get them, and they'd just be these tiny little things that don't do a damn thing. Spider? No. Keep those fucking things away from me. Thank you very much. Foxes are cute. I do like foxes. They're cute. Not sure how good they are as pets, but they're cute. If I saw a spider in my home, I'd just send over the deed. And it depends on the size of the spider, but yeah. Cellar spiders. Like one of those spiders, it's like the size of a dinner plate. Yeah. Yeah, I'm out. Fire. I actually have two very large spiders living on a front porch. Pretend they don't exist yet. Would I get another cat? I would. Um, I would need a place of my own, obviously, and I would need to be financially secure. Like financially secure enough to be able to afford a cat. Tiny red spiders in Canada? I don't know. Big arms and smallish torso, bigger daddy long legs, but not so long legs. Be able to be financially secure. I don't know. I don't know, Michaela. I feel like rent prices would need to come down for that. Like rent prices would need to come down drastically, and there's no sign of that happening because the landlords know they can fucking rip people off. Students, yeah, everywhere is expensive. Fun dip, pixie sticks. I'm not sure. I don't really like a candy very much. Yeah, I mean everything is expensive, Michaela. Like average for one bedroom. I mean, you're looking at least 1,300 for one bedroom. You're looking at least 1,300, 13, 14, 1,500 for a one bedroom apartment. I've mentioned it before, but there is a zero bedroom apartment for like $1,200 for zero bedrooms. Don't have savings. I've managed to get some savings living here. Don't have savings either. Most people do. I mean, fewer and fewer people are able to save anything, Laura, because or Michaela, because prices just keep going up and up and up and up and up. Yeah, like the Skyline apartments in Cornwall, 1345 for a bachelor. this one actually doesn't seem too bad. Almost no photos. That's never promising. There's a 2-bedroom apartment on Pitt. Oh. Yeah, there's a 2-bedroom apartment right near our downtown. Yeah, there's a 2-bedroom apartment for like $12.90, which is actually not a bad price at all. Do a lot of commuters live there? Yes, there are a fair number of commuters in Cornwall. Just gonna live under a bridge, force people to answer my riddles to be able to cross. Good price. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it might be kind of a shitty apartment. It is apparently just renovated, but I don't know. Here's what the building looks like. Yeah, this is what the building looks like. Kind of a shitty looking building, honestly. Here's the bathroom. I am month to month, Michaela, because I mean it's like I'm just renting a room, and I'm just renting a room from a couple. So yeah, it's month to month. There's no lease for this. One bedroom for 1,100. Kind of mediocre looking. Hey, Jamie, can I live anywhere? Yeah, I mean I can live anywhere. It's because it's work from home. It's remote, so wherever I want to live is fine. Yeah. No, no, that's okay. Not where I thought it was. Not quite as far east as I thought it was. I don't think. Do I have? Um, there's very little actual talking. Like it's very rare that I have to actually use the phone. Hey, Barbara. It's very little on the phone. Ex-coworker's adjacent apartment guy shot himself, and his dad was stuck there alone for days until he triggered the smoke alarm. Oof. That's that's rough. Then he got to take his jacket. Then he do. I mean, I want to move, but I mean, right now it's mostly just people were asking about it, so I was just curious again. I have no plans. It's just people brought it up, so I've just happened to get curious. Are they hiring by chance? I think so, but I'd the issue, Michaela, is I don't want to say who I work for because have to be I have to be absolutely paranoid about the possibility of some fucking dickbag calling up my job to complain about me, like to harass them about me. Does that happen? I mean, no, because it hasn't happened to me because I haven't worked like the last job I had. Well, no, I was living with Chantel, so people knew who I was. But like the last place I worked, I didn't tell people where I worked. So since becoming internet famous, I haven't, you know, the jobs I've had, I haven't told people about them. Um, so you want my autograph? So like it hasn't happened because I've been careful not to give anything away. I didn't mention that I worked at Rogers until after I no longer worked at Rogers. I didn't say that was who I worked for until I'd already left. At which point, I talked now and then about working at Rogers and never badmouthed them, by the way. I want you to remember this when you make it to Vancouver. Jeez. Vancouver's pricey. Hey, Kermit. Just got off work and YouTube won't let me comment. Weird. Yeah, Jamie, like it's so yeah, I haven't had like never had people call up a place where I work, but you know, back when people figured out our address when we were in Ottawa, we got food sent to us pretty regularly. Cost an arm and a leg just to get a home in Vancouver yet. Hey, Camellia. Next to Hollywood and media production. Yeah, it does. It does tend to fill in for the U.S. a lot. Vancouver and Toronto are basically the United States. as far as TV and movies are concerned. It's my ideal place to live. I don't know. Do you already give your opinion on the Snow White movie? My opinion on it is that the only reason it's called Snow White is to cash in on the brand recognition. My opinion on the Snow White movie is that Disney needs to be way better at promoting its original content. Anywhere with the computer mic. I mean, you're not wrong, but you don't have to say it. Yeah, like as far as where I'd want to live, being a little bit closer to Toronto would be cool. Just because being able to go down to. Did I miss the wife, the villa? Yeah, I sometimes miss it. Like being able to go down to Toronto without it needing to be like a weekend trip. Because right now it's 4 hours. It's a 4 hour drive there, 4 hours back. How far from Toronto? Yeah, right now it'd be a 4 hour drive there, 4 hour drive back. I can't do a day trip to Toronto right now. You know, I'd have to stay overnight. Concerts? Maybe depends on the band. So living like an hour or two closer to Toronto, maybe like halfway between Cornwall and Toronto, it'd be something where I'd be able to go in for a day. Because there's a lot to do. Because Toronto is a huge city. There's always a lot to do there. And it's got the Toronto Comic Art Festival. To be fair, that's sort of one of the main reasons I want to live close is so that I can go to TCAF. I love comics. I love comic art. So being able to go to Comic Art Festival would be cool. It's expensive to live there. It is. Get a hotel and enjoy yourself. Yeah. Comic store. Nah. I've been in there twice. Yeah, I've been in there twice since getting back. I went not long after I got back to Cornwall, I dropped in. Asked him if he could, and I actually asked him if he could get another issue of a comic for me, an image thing. Surprise place is still open. I mean, it's got a loyal fan base, or customer base. It's got a loyal customer base. Um, and I'm guessing probably hasn't had too much trouble with rent increases. That'd be my guess. The rent hasn't increased there yet to the point where it forced him to close. He's got a solid customer base, a loyal customer base, so that's you know keep him in business. Um, there are a few comics that I'd like to pick up and trade, so I might start dropping in every now and then just to ask for trades. Yes, I did work today. That's why I'm on at 3 in the morning. So yeah, there's a few comics I'd like to pick up and trade, so I might drop in now and then just to see if he can order me the trades of certain comics like Black Cloak. That is one I definitely need to pick up. I really need to get the trade of Black Cloak. Kelly Thompson and Meredith McLaren, one of my favorite teams. One of my favorite comic teams. TikTok. I mean, occasionally I'll have a TikTok page occasionally pop up on my Twitter feed. So that's the only time I watch TikToks is when a funny one pops up on my Twitter feed. Hey, Monica. Game's almost done. Just 4 gigs to go for my game to be downloaded. Movies you want to see? Not really. I watched Across the Spider-Verse. I'm good until Beyond the Spider-Verse, I think. Shorts on YouTube? Not really. Nah, there's no shorts that I watch. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. Next Marvel movie? The Marvels. I think the Marvels comes out, what, couple months? Next month? Couple months? When's that one come out? Hey, Summerlin. I don't remember when it comes out. Doesn't matter. It'll be a fun, enjoyable movie. It'll make $1 billion and have very little actual long term. Like, it won't really make much of a difference. You know, it'll make $1 billion and people will forget about it. Same as with every other Marvel movie. That said, Iman Vellani seems like an absolute gem. So I will root for that movie for her. Hey, Diana. Last movie we went to theater to see. Beyond the Spider-Verse. I did go to see that last month and thoroughly enjoyed that one. Okay. It's still open. Cornwall Square is still open. It's still open. Cornwall Square is still open. It's just sad. It's open, but it's sad. So yeah, I did see Across the Spider-Verse, and like I said, I did enjoy Across the Spider-Verse. Last movie before that was, I believe, Birds of Prey. I think the last movie I saw in the theater before COVID hit was Birds of Prey. Which I saw like just a few days after I went to see Cats. Spider-Man games? Nah. Snacks? Of course I get snacks. Hey, Kermit. Review more Scholastic? I mean, probably not. Like, nothing against Scholastic. Is just like the ones that I'm interested in really are like the books I want to read are not really. I don't know. I want to read. There's a lot of books I want to read, and very few of them are published by Scholastic. But Doug Knapple, shit. No, what is he? Oh, right, he's the Earthworm Jim guy. Yeah. For the record, I would not read a fucking Doug Knapple book. He is an asshole. He is a piece of shit. Ghostopolis and cardboard. Milk Dugs. For movie snacks, popcorn. I just get popcorn. I love me some popcorn. Yeah, Doug Tenapple is an asshole. I get a cat. I should name it Pepperoni. I don't know. What did Doug do? He's an anti-queer asshole. Like he's just generally anti-queer. He was opposed to same-sex marriage. Uh, Deliberately misgendered a trans journalist. Um, and he's a Trump supporter. That tells you a lot about him right there. The fact that he's a Trump supporter. Buy popcorn and pop and stash candy from the dollar store in my purse. You know, he promotes himself as being, you know, conservative person of faith. I'm a person of faith. I'm pro family. He's pro family. Hey, hey, alien. Do I like Joe Biden? No, no, I don't. Like, I'm not gonna like. I'm not even gonna pretend. No, I don't like Joe Biden. Never have. Is it true Trump wanted to nuke a hurricane? Hey, Anunnaki. I mean, probably. My transition board. I want to. I want to transition. I'm just. It's honestly. It's holy shit. MG. Goddamn. Thank you. Hearts in the chat for MG. Also, I've been super sick with my Meniere's disease. Oh shit, fuck. I'm going through a lot of life changes, moving with my new job and new boyfriend, so I haven't been able to be around. Hope you're doing well. Have an amazing night. You know what? Hearts in the chat for MG for her Meniere's condition as well, Meniere's disease. You know, hearts in the chat for you know that does suck, MG. Diseases are not fun, so I hope you are able to. I forget. She has explained it before. I've forgotten. Um, Disorder caused vestibular issue. Caused by buildup of fluid in chambers of the inner ear. Causes vertigo, nausea, vomiting, loss of hearing, ringing in the ears, headache, loss of balance, and sweating. So yeah, that does sound like really shitty. That actually does sound genuinely shitty. Like a genuinely bad time. Yeah, dizzy. Yeah. So vertigo, nausea, vomiting, loss of hearing, ringing in the ears, headache, loss of balance, and sweating. So yeah, just in general, uh, really not a fun time from the sounds of it. So yeah, I hope that I hope that you are able to get treatment to get to improve that because yeah, that sounds like a it sounds like the kind of thing that ranges from terrible at its worst to irritating at at its best. Like just one of those things like where even when it's just on a general level, it's probably just irritating. I'm surviving. Thanks. And thank you so much for the super chat. You should be saving that money. You should really be saving that money for treatment for yourself and treating yourself for having to deal with that shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's just current. Am I gonna make videos showing every day of girlhood like Dylan Mulvaney? I mean, probably not. The one thing I do want to do, if I ever do manage to start, hey, King Arjun, if I ever do manage to actually start a transition, my plan would be to post a daily photo. Great job, take good care of me, thinking this. Yeah, lucky. So American healthcare didn't suck a bag of balls. Yeah, yeah. Be cool to show my journey on transition. Well, yeah, that's what I'd be doing. Is like I'd be take a photo every day just to show it. Yeah, or at least I try to take a photo every day. But that is assuming I ever actually get started. No guarantees on that, especially living in fucking Cornwall, where there's no clinic for trans healthcare. In Ontario, where Doug Ford has fucking cut uh, telemedicine, so that telemedicine can no longer do ongoing care, which is what transitioning requires. Scary thing about transition. And sometimes scary. Mostly, it just feels like out of reach. Eee, my game is downloaded. Most of the time, it honestly just feels out of reach. Because, like I said, living in Cornwall, there's just not enough of a population uh, to support a trans health clinic. Um, Autism and body dysmorphia go hand in hand. Sometimes what the research actually shows is that autistic people. Hey, David, am I going to be stuck in Cornwall forever? No idea. People on the autism spectrum are more likely to identify anywhere along the queer spectrum. More likely to be gay, more likely to be lesbian, more likely to be bisexual, more likely to be trans, more likely to be asexual, more likely to be um, gender fluid, non-binary, whatever. Do you ever have neck pain when you sleep? Usually it's when I haven't slept enough or when I've slept too much. Am I worried about Hurricane Hillary? Nah. Hurricanes never affect us in Ontario. So like yeah, so that's the thing. Like it is absolutely true that a relatively high number of trans people are autistic. Don't know what the exact statistics are. I don't think there are exact statistics, but like it is absolutely true that uh, quite a few trans people are um, are autistic. And TERFs like to use that to suggest that autistic people are being tricked into identifying as trans. They're being tricked. It's, they're not really trans. It's a trick. They're just being convinced. They're being tricked into it. Which, fuck you for infantilizing autistic people. Tell me what a lentil tastes like. You love lentils, MG? Learn to love a person severely autistic? Yeah. I mean, like, obviously, autism is a spectrum. It is a spectrum. Some people, some people are low functioning, some people are high functioning. TERFs don't really give a shit about the fact that it's a spectrum. They're really not fans of spectrums in general. They're really big on binaries. TERF, trans exclusionary radical feminist. I mean, it's just what the statistics say, Kermit. It just says that autistic people are more likely than non-autistic people to identify as some brand of queer. it's autistic people are more likely than allistic people to identify as some brand as some kind of queer, as some brand of queer. Hey, Zoe. I am not diagnosed. I am still considering getting a diagnosis. Anyway, also, autistic people aren't really keen on autism being diagnosed as a mental illness. Can't tell doctors. What I would say to that is you kind of have to initially. I say that I am probably autistic. I do not say that I am autistic. I say that I'm probably autistic. Getting a proper diagnosis is something that I still am on the fence about whether it's worthwhile. Having said that, the only reason that I would think to get a diagnosis, like to think to get a proper diagnosis, is because I am self-diagnosing. Like the self-diagnosis is what caused me to be like, this would actually explain so much about me. It's just Googling myself. It's just like I'll read accounts. Like I'll read accounts from autistic people and be like, huh. Like they'll say, like somebody will say something, they'll be like, oh, that's an autistic symptom? Oh. A lot of overlap. Yeah, I think there probably is. Expensive. Yeah, it is expensive. It's like $1,500, $2,000. It's like $2,000. The issue, Zoe, is it is like $2,000. It is like a $2,000 to get it. It is. It's ridiculous. It's $2,000 to get a professional diagnosis. Like $1,500 on the low end of the low range. You're looking at least $1,500, usually $2,000. It's Zoe, it's bad. I don't know, Kermit. So yeah, like that's the thing that keeps holding me back on it. Is it's a lot of money for something that doesn't necessarily make a difference. Exactly, NG. We've got the universal health care for that covers a lot of physical stuff. It doesn't really cover a lot of mental health shit. Doesn't make sense. Because you're seeing a specialist. Are women's clothes more expensive? I think so. Yeah, I mean it's at least 1,500. Hey, Val. Didn't know we're having a big party. Yeah, apparently so. 50 people in chat. Like that doesn't normally happen on my I'm with the NHS in England. NHS does cover for adult for kids. It's different. Um, we have no pockets. I know, MG. Yeah, for kids, you can get them diagnosed. I think it's covered under OHIP and whatever. Um, but for adults getting an autism diagnosis or ADHD or like other mental health stuff, it's mental health coverage is very poorly covered under OHIP here in Ontario. Had a brain aneurysm rupture, and they sent me to a neuropsych doctor to prevent brain damage and memory loss. My insurance had to pay like $4,500 for the tests. It's like 14 hours testing. Yeah, for something like that, yes, I think that is something that would probably be covered under OHIP. Also, that's awful. Um, yeah, that's rough, Maka. Hey, Gullible or Gulabi. Sorry, Gulabi. Hey, Bimba. But yeah, like I think for something like that, OHIP would cover it because that's a physical. That is a physical ailment at that point. It's mental health coverage that is poorly covered under OHIP. It's basically you have to pay that mental and physical. No, like I said, I mean most physical stuff is covered. Like if testing should be covered for autism. I am inclined to think so, or at least yeah, at least partly covered. But yeah, as an example, like yeah, if I feel under the weather, I go to a walk-in clinic. They see me. I don't pay for that. Like I don't have to pay. I don't have to pay a cent to go to a walk-in clinic and get checked out. Now, you know, if they prescribe something, then depending on the prescription, I may need to pay for that. Um, but do I prefer clear soda or dark soda? Clear soda, I think. If I need a prescription, I may or may not have to pay for that. Either way, I will pay less than an American would. Um, but I mean, I think there are. How do you get mental not diagnosed with depression? In my case, I can go to a family like I can go to a walk-in clinic, and this is what I used to do when I was on antidepressants. I went to a walk-in clinic, told them, "Hey, this is you know, I'm pretty sure I have depression. Here's my symptoms," uh, and they prescribed me something, and then I would pay for the antidepressants. Sprite or 7-Up? I prefer Sprite. Got sick recently, so I like crave a 7-Up. Yeah. Not a PK. When you're sick, Canada Dry. Canada Dry is the sick drink. Yeah, I do like Sprite more than 7-Up. The 7-Up, I think, is more of a sick drink as well than Sprite is. Acute anxiety and clinical depression. Yeah, good times. Yeah, so as far as how I get meds if I'm not diagnosed with depression, at the moment I don't, but that's on me. That's because I don't go. That's because I don't go to the doctor for it. Mom was from the South and gave me Coca-Cola whenever I was sick. She was convinced it would cure everything. Yeah, yeah, Coke, flat Coke, like flat Coke. Was it flat Coke, MG? Is the thing. Because I think that was sort of a thing as well. Starry, I have not. Yakult yogurt drink, I have not. Yeah, I think Canada Dry Ginger Ale is sort of one of those like one of those things where lot of people, when they were kids, uh, when they got sick, Canada Dry Ginger Ale should make me Coke floats with Coke and ice cream. I mean, one of those things where I suppose it would heal the mind, heal the body. I like it would make you. Yeah, it's one of those things I guess where like you'd feel your brain would feel better, which would help your body maybe. Yeah, that's a 7 thing. Yeah, could be. I don't know. Yeah. Hospitals used to give it to you after surgery. Yeah. Safe bet that that probably doesn't happen anymore. Safe bet that there's not a lot of hospitals out there that give you fucking floats, ice cream floats, Coke floats, or anything like that. These days, I think you might. These days, I think you might be lucky if the hospital gives you anything edible. They fucking heat the food before they give it to you. Roasted chestnuts? I have not. Boiled peanuts are awful. My favorite nuts are pistachios. I like pistachios. How's the dating sites going? They're not. They're not going for me. I haven't checked them in forever. PK said boiled peanuts are awful. PK said it, not me. I've never had boiled peanuts. Yeah. I love pistachios, but they are weirdly expensive. Also, I kind of weirdly miss red pistachios. In a very dark place with my depression, anxiety, panic. Oh, yeah, that's a good time. Use your depression saying as a form of laziness. What I would say, Zoe, is that is a question I ask myself a lot. Yeah, like, is this actually depression, or am I just being lazy? But no, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure it's fucking depression. Like, when it's a legitimate struggle to get out of bed, it's not just the laziness, it's depression. It's the actual fucking depression. So anytime where I do wonder if I'm just, I mean, there are times where I am just being lazy. There are times where absolutely I'm just being lazy. I don't want it. Like, it's like, ugh, I don't want to do it. I don't feel like that's, I don't want to. There are times where I'm absolutely just being lazy. Um, and I will fully admit when it is just straight up laziness. Hey, Nessa. I mean, shit. I don't even fucking feel guilty about it. Or at least I'll barely even feel guilty when I'm being just plain lazy. But most of the time it is the depression. Do you get a weird feeling? I mean, sometimes. I think laziness can stem from depression. It can also stem from just a lot of it from other shit. What it is, we all have a finite amount of willpower. Each person has a finite amount of willpower before they need to recharge. A lot of times when someone is being lazy, is just they've run out of willpower. Yeah. And they can't be bothered to cook, so they just order out. They ran out of the willpower required to cook. Don't feel guilty if you're lazy. My psych says it's all right. Yeah. I mean, it's a fairly common idea is that it's self-care. Do you get a weird feeling in your head brain that takes over your body? Sometimes. Like, I do sometimes have a weird feeling that just sort of takes over my body. Yeah. Weird feeling in my head brain pretty regularly. Not sure what a normal feeling feels like, really. But yeah, I mean, sad to not be able to have the willpower to cook. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Or how about this? Instead of watching a movie, instead of watching a 2-hour movie, you spend 3 hours binging a TV show. I don't cook, but that's because I'm bad at it. Same. For most of my life, MG, same. It's really only in the villa that I started trying to learn. Like really only when Chantel went over to Kuwait the first time that I started trying to learn. Yeah, I mean, I think that's sort of like, I feel like that's kind of the pinnacle. Like, I feel like that's sort of like the absolute best example of how laziness works. Is when instead of watching a 2-hour movie, you watch You spend 3 hours binging a TV show. That's laziness. Because the movie is, an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. Each episode of the TV show is only 30 minutes. So each individual episode requires less mental effort than the movie does. So instead of watching, instead of getting your brain invested into 90 minutes or 2 hours of a movie, it just says, no, give me bite-sized shit. Because you've run out of willpower to... Hey, Hurl. You've run out of willpower to invest in the 90-minute or 2 hour or however long it is. You've run out of willpower to invest in the longer movie. I know I'm depressed when I binge series and don't remember a single thing about it. I generally, whenever... I don't binge. I'm not good at binge watching. I don't, like, for some reason, I don't really have, except YouTube. I'll fall down a YouTube rabbit hole and spend days at a time. I'll lose an entire day to some random YouTube channel that I happen to fall down. But like for TV shows, I'm not like, I don't have, somehow I don't have the, I don't know, like somehow I just don't have that that brain makeup to binge a TV show. I mean, I tried it with like when Netflix was releasing its Marvel shows. I tried to binge. I'd get like maybe 2 episodes a night, and then I'd have to take a break. Yeah, I think maybe like 2 to 3 episodes in a night, and then I'd be like, wow, I need to, and I'd need to take a break from it. I was 90 pounds before the pandemic. I gained 100 pounds. I think it helps watching with someone. That does. Watching anything with a person always helps. Depending on the person, actually. The other person has to be interested in it as well. I mean, there were times where I'd watch something with Chantal and she clearly wasn't into it, and it would affect my enjoyment of it as well. I talk through movies, even alone. The fact that you talk through movies might be why you're watching them alone, MG. The fact that you're talking is probably why you're having to watch them alone in the first place. Favorite all-time movie? Spirited Away is my favorite movie. Never walked out of a movie. The closest I was ever tempted, the only move that I've ever really been tempted to leave was Batman Begins. Holy shit, I fucking hated that movie. Other than that, I don't really go to the movies. Like it's been a long time since I've really gone to the movies a lot. My boyfriend watches them with me. I just can't help being passionately loquacious about what I'm seeing. Fair enough. But like once I hit my teenagers, once I hit my teen years, I kind of stopped going to the movies very often. And then for a long time, like the only movies I'd really go to watch would be, Star Wars or Marvel. I mean, those are movies that I was always going to be excited for. So I just I rarely went to I've rarely gone to movies that I wasn't already interested in. And I got lucky. Whenever I wasn't entirely sure whether I'd like a movie, I usually happen to like it. Zoe, I absolutely have depression, Zoe. It runs in my family. My mom and my brother both have depression. So it runs in my family, unfortunately. Haven't been diagnosed. I mean, I haven't seen a specialist about it, but I mean, I've been in therapy for a while, and and just yeah, it's it is I do have depression. There is not a single doubt in my mind that I do have depression. It's not just laziness. I've spent enough time trying to figure out, you know, I spent enough time telling myself that, I was just being lazy. And before realizing, wait, this isn't just laziness. This is like that it is serious mental disorder. Then how not have depression? I mean, the fact that I do regularly have trouble getting out of bed. Even when I've gotten enough sleep, it's not just laziness. It's like being literally unable to pull myself out of bed. Unless I'm able to get up in time for work. I try to shower every couple days. I try to shower every other day. And to do that, I need to get up, in order to shower, I need to be up, about a half hour before my shift is scheduled to start. There's a lot of days where I am not getting up where I'm not giving myself that half hour. Yeah, where I'm not getting up that half hour ahead of time. Good night, Diana. Oh, righto. Sorry, I thought you said night. Never mind, Diana. Sorry. Environment change? No. Maybe we'll get. Masking is a thing, right? Also, I'm not able to get my face on cam every night. Also, a lot of times it's genuine. I have to genuinely push myself. Also, it's something that is fun. It's something that when I come on live, I usually actually do have a pretty good time. And it is still a struggle some nights. Just plugging in the webcam and turning on the ring light and clicking the buttons. There are nights where it is genuinely hard to do that, despite the fact that it's something I want to do and enjoy doing. Isn't myself from Uh, yes. I enjoy being. I enjoy interacting. Like I enjoy interacting with my audience. Part of it is because to a certain extent, you're just your words in a void. Like to a large extent, like your words in a void. You're not people. You're not people that I'm directly interacting with. You're not. It's not where it's not face to face communication or anything like that. It's just words on a screen, which is a lot easier to deal with. Um, and like I said, even then, it's still something that I some nights, many nights, have to push myself to do. Yeah, beyond that, there's a lot of depressed content creators out there. There's a lot of depressed people making YouTube videos. It's honestly pretty common. Like there's you I think you'd be surprised how many people on YouTube, how many people making videos on YouTube do have depression, struggle with depression. Who regularly make videos about their depression. Shit. There are people who like their entire channel is sort of about how they cope with their depression. It's because, yeah, different people do cope in different ways. They're able to do different things. And shit like this can be an outlet. It can be a way to help cope. Oh, fuck you, Zoe. Like, honestly, yes, sure. But even when I have absolutely nothing to stress about, I still end up feeling depressed. Like there'll be things that like there's no real stressors going on, and I'll still feel depressed. When I do, and when I do have stressors, holy shit! Yeah, and at this point, though, just like fuck you. Like, in all honesty, though, just fuck you. Man, my stomach just grumbled. It's like, really, I'd rather replace my own. MG, thank you for being here. It is so refreshing to hear someone speak so plainly and candidly about these issues. And I know it's hard. Helps me cope with my medical issues and the depression that comes with it being here. So truly, thank you. You're appreciated. Thank you very much, MG. Hearts in the chat again for MG. And I mean, yeah, it is one of those things where, you know, people being willing to talk about it is pretty key to destigmatizing about it and making people feel less bad about it. You know, it's making people feel not bad about it. Some people are really going through the mill. Yeah, absolutely. And I would never, like, I don't compare my struggles to those of people who have it worse. Because, yeah, absolutely, there are people who have it way worse. Doesn't mean my struggles aren't real, and doesn't mean that I can't have depression. It's a brain chemical thing. There are people going through way worse shit than I do who are happy-go-lucky because their brains aren't fucking broken. Their brains work properly, release the right set of chemicals and at the right times. And yes, I am a realist, which is why I am 100%. I am a realist, which is why I am 100% certain that I do, in fact, have depression. And about 95% sure that I have, that I'm on the autistic spectrum. Maybe about 75%, maybe 70 to 75%, 70 to 75% confident that I probably have some level of ADHD as well. Maybe 60 to 65% confident on that one. Better than even chances that I do have ADHD. Very near certain that I am on the autistic spectrum. 100% confident. 100% certain that I have depression. Depression or mental health? Yes. Yeah, my mom and my brother both have depression, both medicated, off and on. The sort of similar situation to me. They're sort of off and on medicated. High-ish functioning. Ouch. High-ish. That feels like it might be. That feels like it might be kind of a burn. Like I would say high functioning, high-ish. Damn. That's severe depression, bipolar before I was actually diagnosed. Yeah, which I know I am. Socially isolate. I mean, I do, but I'm not sure if that's the autism or just me not liking people. Me not like being around people. I mean, I suppose it is probably part of the autism. I suppose it probably is partly because of the autism, but I don't know. not really autism, but I was diagnosed with ADHD. So I'm not sure how I can relate to you on your autism. There's occasional overlap. In particular, I think stimming is something that helps with both. Very socially, very social person. Even I get emotionally and psychologically taxed being around people. And that's because my job requires 100% human contact. Yeah. I am very lucky that my current job does not, like, not even phones. Like rarely even talking on the phones for my current job. Mostly it's text based, live chats and emails. Bankruptcy. Yeah. Yeah, my mom is currently finishing up her bankruptcy. So I had to help her recently with some documentation she needed, bank statements and stuff that she needed to send in. Hey, Casey. Yes, man, it's like I'm very antisocial except friends online. Uh, okay, first of all, Zoe, I love books, so it's. But I mean, second, it took me a month to get around to reading Smile. Like, do you have any like? That's just a graphic novel for middle. Like, it's a middle grade graphic novel. It's short and easy to read, and it still took me a fucking month to get around to it. And I am someone who fucking loves book. I wanted to work in a library. I wanted my career to revolve around books. And it still took me that long to get around to reading a fucking middle grade graphic novel. Yeah. I've been sitting on this one for a couple months now. Just started last night. And that was only because my internet had gone down briefly. You ever sit and stare at things you want to do? And then I'll open up a game of Free Cell. It's like, I should probably pick up that book. I should probably pick up the book, start reading, read a chapter. I could read a chapter in quickly enough and get through it. And then I'll open up a game of fucking Free Cell. Game of Solitaire. Wanted to buy the Witch book you had, if you remember, but I wouldn't be able to read it. I mean, it's a struggle. It is a genuine struggle for me to get the books open. Because it's easier to watch some stupid, shitty ass fucking video on YouTube. Or to play a couple hours of Dynasty Warriors. Because that requires absolutely no brain power at all. So, yeah, I don't read anywhere near as much as I want to read. I love reading. When I start reading, I feel great. Do mentally right have depression? Disagree. I think that you are. I think that you have convinced yourself that depression looks the same for everybody. That, like, they're not. That here's what you are doing is looking at somebody and saying, based on the way they present themselves to the world, that they are not acting the way a depressed person is supposed to act, which is bullshit on multiple levels. Because, hey, yeah, some people are able to mask better than others. And then as soon as they're out of public, they just fucking collapse and just trivia night with my boyfriend. I was pissed I didn't know a single question about arts and literature. Aw. We had trivia the other night, including a literature category. Yeah, like you can't judge a person's mental state, mental health by the face they present publicly. And you can't judge by them, like, you can't say that there's one way that depressed people are supposed to act. People are all different. I'm only like, shit. Most of the time, even when I'm live, like half the time, even when I'm live, I'll end up being distracted by my phone. Focused? I'm not focused. I have I have a lot of trouble focusing, frankly. And beyond that, I'm focused. Like for shooting the shit with random people on in a conversation in silly conversations. Like it sucks that you're having a rough time, but the truth is someone doesn't even necessarily need to be having a rough time to have depression. Depression is often chemical. It's brain chemicals. Depression doesn't even necessarily need to be related to any hardships you're having. And I mean, bad hardships do certainly affect my depression. Yeah, when I'm having a particularly hard time, like when things are particularly stressful for me, that absolutely makes my depression even worse. But even when things are going well for me, I do still have depression. Why not I go see a doctor? I mean, there's a few reasons. There are actually a few reasons. One part of it is like I don't want to have to go see a different doctor every time. Like right now, I would need to go to a walk-in clinic. Like I don't have, hey Mary, I don't have a family doctor. I would need to go to a walk-in clinic, which means I'd be seeing a different doctor every time, having to review with them every time the situation. Every time I need to get the prescription filled or changed or whatever, and that's just kind of a pain in the ass. Add to that, I would need to get up. I would need to get up at a reasonable time to go to the clinic. I would need to be up earlier than 5 p.m. I would need to be up earlier than 5 in the evening in order to get to the clinic, which really hard for me. Um, and I mean, you know, getting up and doing things, getting up and doing things in general is tough. So why don't I go see a doctor about my depression? I mean, part of the reason I don't see a doctor about my depression is my depression makes it hard to go see the doctor. Right? Hey, Fiend. 8 a.m. So I think it's okay to have the stance I don't need to treat my mental health. I mean, I should. I absolutely should be treating it. Yeah, yeah. If I do go to a clinic, yeah, I don't have to pay to see the doctor. My drug, any prescription I get, I would need to pay for, but I would be able to get reimbursed through my job, through my employer healthcare. So that said, filing for the reimbursement, pain in the ass. I'm not even a particular pain in the ass. It's just it requires actually going in to do it. Easier said than done. Yeah. What I would say, Zoe, is it's only a problem when they use it to evade responsibility for their actions. Like someone being an ass, like just someone being a general asshole. Like when somebody is just being an asshole and then blames it on a self-diagnosed mental health issue, that's bad. Um, I would like to think that I am not being an asshole when I do things, like that I am not being an asshole. And truthfully, when I do, a lady told me she needed the window seat to the plane that I paid for because of her autism. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's kind of a shitty thing to do. Pay for the window seat yourself. Yeah, that's using autism as an excuse to be. And what I will say is, you know, There absolutely is possibility of like an autistic people just really needing the window seat. But in that case, that lady was using autism as an excuse to be a bully, frankly, to be a dick. I said no hate. Yeah, you said no hate while like accusing me of lying about my mental health issues. So truthfully, I'm still gonna kind of say fuck you. Like I'm still gonna keep a bit of a fuck you stance on this one, Zoe. I want the opposite because I want to know I have leg room. I'm not rubbing up against some sleeping person. Actually, I'm sleeping on a plane, but I don't. I told you. Yeah, I mean, sleeping on a plane. I was never really good at sleeping on planes. Oh, fucking whatever, Zoe. Earl. Thanks, Earl. Exactly, Kermit. Yeah, I prefer the window seat just because I like being able to look out the window. It really is that. Hey, Kelly. It really is that simple. I just like being able to look out the window. That said, I haven't flown since I was a teenager, so kind of moot. I do miss flying. I really don't miss jet lag, but I do miss flying. I mean, I would argue that I'm not using mental health as an excuse for anything. I like to look out the window too, but I give in too easy. I have trouble sleeping in anything moving. I have trouble sleeping in anything that's not a bed. On the other hand, I also have trouble sleeping in beds often. Insomnia. I have a lot of trouble falling asleep even in bed. If I'm not in bed, it's really hard for me to sleep. So cruises, no, I would never go on a cruise. Just the fucking they are disgusting. You're just asking to get sick. Like nothing I have ever heard about cruises makes them sound the least bit appealing. Everything I've heard just makes them sound horrible. Hot air balloon. Hot air balloon. I don't think I'd be comfortable with. I think a hot air balloon would be. Asker's asking basic. Oh, all the bacteria and the viruses going around? Like, just so many germs being spread and contained in a self-contained area. I mean, they can't keep it clean. Like, it's people get sick on cruises so often. Cruises are great for old people. Bacteria. I mean, some bacteria does. Some bacteria weakens it. Yeah, for hot air balloons. I am scared of unenclosed heights. Put me in an airplane and I'm fine because it's closed. You know, put me in a tall building, I can look out the window, no problem. Piece of cake. There's a window here, wall here. I'm fine. Put me on the second step of a ladder. Oh, I start to get a little bit nervous. So I'm scared of unenclosed heights. So a hot air balloon, yeah, I would not be able to handle that. Hey, Roxanne. Yeah, I've been lucky that I've almost never thought of suicide. Yeah, a couple bits where I was at my absolute lowest, where I briefly thought about it. But luckily, I've never really seriously considered suicide. Wanting to just no longer exist, yeah, that I have been there regularly and still go there. Does my mom ever go back to Scotland to visit family? Not for a while. She hasn't been back for a while. I think the last time was when her mom died, which was a few years back. Yeah, I get times where like I wish I didn't, where like I kind of wish I didn't exist. I think depression is genetic. I think there probably is a genetic element, just because it's like I said, runs in my family. My mom and my brother both have depression, so I think there is a genetic component in my case. Situational makes it worse for me. Like it'll get worse in particular situations, but was that crazy bad depression my grand too? Yeah. Mom was depressed and a narcissist. Fun combination. Am I an uncle? No, I am not. Which, probably lucky for me because I don't like kids. Probably be too cold or too hot. I'd rather be just right. I'd rather be, in the middle. That said, um, you know, being cold, you can just put on a sweater or a jacket or something. I feel like it's easier to get warm when it's cold than to get cool when it's warm. You can only lose so many layers until you're butt naked. Exactly. And Zoe, I wish that you had tried to understand what I was saying. Just tried my boyfriend vape while he was sleeping, and I've never coughed so bad in my life. This is appealing to people. Yeah, but I've never been interested in smoking. Like, so is okay. As far as I am aware, I am. Russia's killing me. Yep. Yep, it'll do that. Yeah, Zoe, I've had that spiral. A couple of years back, I literally could not get out of bed. Like, there was a period a couple of years back where, like, I literally could not pull myself out of bed on a daily basis. I'd be in bed for like 2 days straight. I'd barely get up to pee and then just crawl back into bed. I've had that spiral. As it is right now, it's so much better. Oh yeah, that was the worst I've ever been. Yeah, I think, or pretty much the worst. Like, I think that was pretty much the worst I've ever been. Um, my depression is generally more of a flat thing. Um, just like, just embarrassed because Robot Chicken like 20 years ago called out all Inuyasha fans. Yeah, it's a long time ago. Like I said, never had suicidal thoughts, but I do still do. have thoughts of just vaguely wishing I didn't exist. Not suicide, just wish I didn't exist. A minute to that is my joke. I think there's a few things, and I think there's a few things all at once. I think what it was, in my case, COVID made my job harder because I was working customer service for Rogers telecommunication, cell phones, internet, that sort of thing. COVID put a lot of people, lockdowns and shit like that, put a lot of people out of work, basically. Hey, Lady MK. Like, it had a lot of people who weren't able to who weren't making money. I couldn't do a fucking thing for them. It wasn't COVID itself, and it wasn't the job itself. It was the fact that customer after customer, hey, is there anything? I'm not bringing as much money. I haven't been on the job for past few months. Is there anything I can do to reduce my bill? Nope. Nope, you've already got the lowest plan you've got. Anything else? I couldn't fucking help them. And it just got to the point, it's like, I don't want to tell them no. I don't want to keep saying no. Like, I don't want to tell the customer, I don't want to tell one more customer no. I don't want to let down, I don't want another day of telling customers that I can't reduce their bill. So that was sort of what happened, is I could not deal with that anymore. So it was indirectly caused. My drop was indirectly caused by COVID. Just putting me in a position where I couldn't help people the way I wanted to. Anyway, I normally only go live for 1 hour on these nights. I normally only go live for 1 hour, but it's now been 2 hours, so I am going to end the stream here right before another ad runs. So thanks for coming, everybody. I will probably be on tomorrow. I showered today, so I'll be on tomorrow. And good night, everybody. And thank you very much again, MG. Thank you very much again for the super chats. You are, as always, entirely too generous. So, good night, everybody.